You're going to want to install Adobe Dimension from your Creative Cloud. This is it. The icon is green. If you don't see it up here, that means you need to install it, and it's down here. Okay, so do that early. Once it's open, or once you have it, go ahead and open it, and you're going to see that your workspace is basically a plane that's closer to you, further away. Over on the left-hand side, you should see your starter assets. You have some basic shapes, you have some models, you have some materials, and lights, different ways to light your scene, as well as different images to use for the background or the setting of your scene. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and use a cube, and when you put it on there, it's selected and it shows you 3 different colors. Each of these colors has an arrow which moves it, okay, and has a box which resizes it or scales it in a certain direction. So I can resize on this scale so that I get that narrow edge for my cereal box. Then I can increase the height of it because the cereal box is typically 8 by 12. Now, if you accidentally move your box up to where it's floating and not on the plane, over here on the right-hand side in Actions, you have a way to move to the ground. That is that little arrow there. If you select your box or whatever shape you have, you can come over here into your Actions. If you convert it to a standard model, and sometimes it's already going to be converted, but if you see that box, convert it, because the icon you want is to be able to place graphic on model. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to find the front of my cereal box. And you see that it has some resize handles, okay? If I hold Shift, it resizes it both height and width, okay? And if you position it in the middle, you'll want to get it to where it goes all the way, top to bottom, and then you might have to resize it the other way a little bit, but you want to make sure it fits, okay? Then I still want that selected because guess what comes next? The side of my box. Now, it automatically plops there, but if you move it, you can see that it is resizing or moving it over to the left and the right. So here again, I will get it to where it is filling it top to bottom, and then I will resize it widthwise so that I can, and you might want to zoom in a little bit and then zoom out so you can actually get the handle. And there we go. Okay. Now, once you get your images on there, you can still click on it and you can still move things around and rotate. So again, the move was the arrow, the square is size, but you also have the ability to rotate. So you want to get your box rotated in a way to where you can see the best view of both the front and the side. Now, you may have noticed as I rotated it that it is still that gray, default gray color on the other side and the back and the top. So what I can do now is go to the scene or the actions over here. And over here it says select material. Now under select material, we can choose a base color. Here is color or image. We've put images on, so we don't want to use that. But here I have an eyedropper tool that will allow me to select that same kind of blue purpley color that's in my cereal box, and I can put that on the rest of my box. Okay, and here it's done. I feel like this is the angle that I want to see. I can see the ingredients, I can see the front. And then I can come over here and I can say, okay, well, what else can I do? Well, I have a hollow sphere. And with this hollow sphere, I can hold my shift key, drag on any of those three colored squares to resize it, move it somewhere, make sure it's grounded to the plane, and it is. And then I can go and I can put a material on it. If I wanted to just make it a color, I could do that. If I wanted to make it a plastic bowl, I can do this, or a glass bowl. Okay, you have lots of options down here. From there, I'm going to continue scrolling because, and I'm not going to do lights yet, but I'm going to come down here to images, and you've got some things, you know, put just a background image. There's nothing, you know, wrong with these, but you do have a handful, and I say a handful, of images that actually kind of make it fit. Okay, so here's a table with a chair behind it. I can, oops, I'm going to have to move my plane to move this in. Oh, I know, I zoomed in. That was the problem. I can use the wheel on my mouse to make this go down to where it looks like it is sitting on my desk. Okay, and it may require some manipulation. I want to move this way. You might also need to resize it altogether. So I'm hold shift so I can resize. And then again, I can move my bowl over, resize that a little bit smaller. And now I have a cereal bowl and a box of cereal on my desk. Now, you do have the ability to, oh, I think that we can't look at Adobe stock. Oh, I take that back. Some things we're blocked from. You do have the ability to do stuff from Adobe stock that you could download. You can search for it here as well. You can search by 3D, oops, or you can search by illustrations, vectors, whatever, but it's there. When you're done, when you have your product in your scene, make sure that you save it. Okay, so I'm going to do a file save as. It's going to save it as a dimension file, so period, last name, and then product design. And then you are going to click on this little button that's about sharing 3D scenes. So you can publish it as a 3D scene, okay? But what we want for our ePortfolio is a snapshot as a PNG. So I hit save, and it is going to give me a cereal box snapshot.